To Just Off the Plate with Armando and Cody. It is episode 48 and our final one of the season at that. Joining us tonight, we saved almost the best for last. From the Friday night HBA champion Cyclones, Stuart Lewis is in the house. Stuart, welcome to the show. Gentlemen, say hello.
What's up? Oh, man.
Good. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yep, we're glad you're here. And I say almost because you were the best in Friday. You were very close to being the best on Saturday.
Very close.
Right, which would ultimately make you the best all around.
It would, man.
And I don't want to say you were a balk away, but who knows?
Yeah, that was tough. That was a tough pill to swallow, man. But you know, it's but it was interesting because you had three. That was your third championship, right? You had Sunday, right? We had Sunday with the Yard Goats, which was 2021, right? That was summer. I don't think you made it on. We didn't make it on Saturday. You didn't make it on Saturday, and then there was the fall season where you had two championships. That's good, man. That's
impressive. Is what it is.
I would say so, man. Definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, two teams like that, you know, in a competitive level.
Yeah, I mean, my philosophy is you're only as good as the people that are playing for you or that you're working with. So
Yeah.
it's more them than me for sure. But anytime you can have multi appearances, I mean, that's what you want.
Yeah.
I thought you were only as good as your weakest player. Right? Isn't that somebody says that, right?
That might have been early on in the Saturday. I'm not sure.
Well, it wasn't the inaugural season, I'll tell you that.
It might have been.
Oh man, yeah, because you were there since the beginning too, right?
Yeah.
You know, that's funny. I was thinking about that the other day. Who is still here from that 2016, 2017 beginning?
There's not many left.
No,
right?
no.
I mean, you two were.
There's us
there.
three. Omar's one.
Yeah.
Omar was there.
Yeah, but for the life of me, I don't.
Was it? What about Ray? Ray was one original one.
So Ray came up fall of 17, so he was second season. Kevin Carpenter, I think, is one of them.
Okay, he's another OG.
And
But so has he been consistently? Like he's taken some seasons off, right? Or has
Carpenter?
he? Yeah, has he always been on the roster?
It's kind of been in every other season.
So
Yeah.
was him.
But I mean, he has kids that play.
Right.
very
But you know what I'm
competitive
saying is that we have not taken a break. We've been
Yeah.
there every season.
Yeah. If you're talking,
That's-
I mean, you can call them one and the same, but definitely as far as players go, I think. Cause wait, the first.
actually, you know what? I think Xavier, he was on Redbird's first season, but again, I don't know if he took seasons off or.
Right, that'd be a good one to know.
Yeah.
You know, but the original teams, I think he's the only one is the Redbirds, right? Because it was Redbird, Vipers, Toros, and what was the other one?
The
Yardbirds.
Birds.
The orange. Yeah, it was.
Uh-huh.
What's the guy's name? He coaches in HHL and I think other places. Yeah, remember he brought the Oilers a couple seasons
Pete?
later. No, it was. I can't remember. His
Yeah,
name.
I don't know.
I can see his face, but I can't remember his name.
Yeah, I don't remember who the hell that was.
I thought he used to be affiliated with the Pelicans, maybe in 40 plus.
Oh, Bobby. Is it Bobby?
I don't think it's damn it Bobby, but it might be another Bobby.
No, I think you're right. I think the Pelicans did have some influence with the Yard.
Yeah, whoever's on the
Birds.
Pelicans now that was
Yeah.
on 40 plus, they'll know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Man, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So, but definitely, at least you got that right. You got that too, right? You got the original team too, the longest team, I guess, right? That'd be the longest team because there's no Vipers.
I mean, apart from the rebrand on the Toros Pirates.
Yeah, right. Man, that's cool, man. Damn.
So we should be like Hall of Fame longevity-wise. Maybe not stat-wise, but that's got to count for something.
Yeah,
We are paying the fees. Well, some or less.
Armando's cut from a different cloth. I think you and I. But,
Oh man, dude, that's true, man.
We'll take notoriety any way we can.
yeah. Well, I think it's also the level of competitiveness has
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
night and day.
big
Yeah.
time, man.
I mean, it was very recreational those first couple seasons.
It was,
Well,
dude.
gone are the days where you just sign up and you put on a team, right?
This is true.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we've had tryouts, I think, since, 18?
Yeah.
'Cause that's
Yeah.
when River Dogs came up, Avengers came up. Some other
It's
ones.
you know that's actually a really good topic because when you think about that, We were there since the beginning. It competitive, tremendous.
Yep.
What there was no all-star game, and that was like, I don't know if that was the following year or the year after.
That was 18 that started, yeah.
Yeah, and then I remember the championship of today is not like there was the first one, because I remember we won the first one. It was just like a regular game, like, hey, we just won. It's like we just won. All right, cool. All right. Did we win the championship? Really? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then
But the photo was there, right? So
the
we
photo
took a
was there.
Yeah.
There's no lie, right? Like we could say, hey, that's us right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, that's kind of cool, man. I mean, that's definitely, we can see the changes that Adam did. You know how it kind of climbed the everything he kept adding as the seasons went on. I mean, you got me going, kind of going through memory lane right now, just thinking about that.
Well, and it's not just the quality is improved, but the quantity too. I mean, you can bring on more teams, and a lot of times the quality is still not, like, if anything, it would take a step backwards. But
yeah.
I mean, you got 30 guys going home after the tryout. I mean, what does that tell you?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's where that 365 league sprouted up. That was
a good move. That was a good move. We were talking about, I think we were talking about a few episodes ago, that really kind of changed the game, because, like, you know, I think was a good part of, because you were letting all these people go. I mean, all these people were going, and now you found a league for them, and I think that's great. I mean, everybody, you know, the thing I've said to a bunch of people is, like, Houston has a baseball for whatever day you want, whatever age group you want, whatever competition level you want. It's just whatever you want to do. There's plenty of baseball here. It's whatever you want to do.
Everybody deserves to play.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean, there's no reason to dedicate your life to softball.
Yet some people do.
Yeah, some people do. Some people do. But, you know, for the ones that stick it out and play, you know, baseball, you know, my hat's off to you, you know. I mean, that's the way to go. But it's definitely had a huge change. And I think you've actually, how many you got under your belt now for Saturday?
For
championships.
So Saturday is 3, I believe.
3.
And maybe 5 appearances.
Yeah.
Like 3 out of 5. And then Sunday League's been 2 appearances. Friday, 1, and then 1 championship for Friday.
Okay.
So 1-1 for Friday. That's a good start.
It is. Well, what I like about Friday, we got the first one. That's what I like. Like inaugural. Yeah. Like, hey, you know, I'm good with that. I'm happy about that one. What's up, Pedro? What's up, Tim? I mean, I'm definitely happy about that. And you know, in on the Saturday one, I think what's really is that a noise?
Mm-hmm.
Is that wrong?
I'm good.
That would be a helicopter.
Is it? Is it really? Is it really? Oh yeah, my bad. See, we should have closed the door. Maybe I'll get my little assistant out there to come help me out. I thought it was in here though. I thought it was a buzzing in the sound, but
no, don't listen to this guy.
Where's Engineer Vela?
I know, right, dude? Where's he at when you need him? But
I make suggestions. It's up to you, you know, to follow them out.
I don't. Well, here's the thing. I was concerned more that there was buzzing coming from electronics.
Right.
Right. I'm okay with it. Well, not. I think if I want to send a thing, I would have been okay.
Yeah.
My bad.
It's a distraction on your part.
Yeah. But you know, the you know, having those type of, you know, championship things. Do you think that adds? Do you believe in that experience in championships? Because I hear that. I mean, you hear that a lot in professional. I personally don't buy it, but what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, it definitely ups I don't know, I guess the energy or the buzz around the game if you've got 30 or 50 people in the stands versus 5 or 10 like some of our other games. And then you got, you know, Adam's got the photographer there. You know, obviously we broadcast most of the games now, so I think it adds something to it. I mean, I will say, like, this last fall championship for Saturday League, and I think I kind of noticed this when we played you guys, like Toros, like fall of 18, is like the cold weather will keep people away.
Yeah.
You know, Cody was there for the one.
It almost kept me away.
Yeah. It definitely kept Armando away.
Damn it. Oh shit.
Like, as soon as that last strike 3, okay, gone.
You know, it's I don't blame you. I really wanted to be there, man, because it was definitely an exciting game, and you guys got it done within 9 innings and like close to, either a little bit over or a little bit under of 2.5 hours.
Yeah, we had some quick innings there. I mean, I think that speaks to the elements and good pitching and stuff like that.
I'm gonna say good pitching. I mean, because you're gonna hit that ball, right? If you hit it wrong, it's gonna hurt, right?
Yeah.
But everything you're doing is the same,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think like we talked
and they
last.
can hit the ball. That's what I was getting at. Both of you guys can hit the ball, and I think you brought your A game in pitching. That's why you're there. When you don't allow runs, that's how you win a game.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's what was happening.
Yeah, I mean, of course, the weather, besides it being cold, windy too, right?
Yeah.
The ball's blowing, ball's blowing.
Yeah, I mean, we knew it was going to factor into the game, and I mean that the wind and the elements that definitely had the first word and the last word in that game. I mean, I think it was first or second inning. Correa, I think his name is, on the Cyclones. I mean, he hit one, had the launch angle, like it was towering, and then you could just see it being pushed foul, and then our left fielder went and somehow found Green to go catch it.
Oh wow!
So.
Probably kept it in the fairgrounds. That's what they said too about. Hey, what's up, Cameron? That's what they said too about Booth. They said Booth could have probably had like two. You know?
I mean Booth. I think Booth's first at bat. Absolutely. I mean, his dad was out beyond the right field fence, and he told him afterwards or in the aftermath of it, like, I thought it was going to be gone by 20 feet, like when I saw it off the bat, and then it hung up there. I mean, our center fielder said, he'd run to a spot, like on a gap shot, and get there and like, wow, it's still up in the
That obviously plays a huge factor for the pitcher, right? He feels a little bit more comfortable. Probably, the mistakes are not as costly, right? If you make a mistake, you're not going to pay for it as much as if it was a regular day because, you do something out there, both sides going to put one over, I mean, obviously there people, said that shit, the ball was going to go over. It wasn't that windy that day, so.
Yeah, I mean, I think Tim was the one that said it maybe on this podcast a week or two ago. It's like, in a normal day, each team would have scored at least 2 or 3 more runs, easy.
Yeah.
Like maybe even in one swing. So.
Yeah, for sure, man. It was and I was trying to keep up with it, on Stadium Cast, and it just, I couldn't believe how fast you guys were going through the innings, man. I'm like, dude, it's already the 4th, it's already the 7th, it's already what the heck? Like, man, this is going. I mean, and it was a nail biter. I mean, you guys probably remember right? Were you guys the last inning? You guys didn't get nobody on, right? On the bottom of the 9th?
Let me look at the box score here.
No.
No, right? Like, I remember, I don't think they got anybody on. Yeah. I think the inning before they had, like, people right at the, like...
Yeah,
bases.
I mean, I think it was
Yeah,
that
that's
inning
when you got the bases loaded, right?
Yeah, that was our best opportunity all day.
Yeah, and, when I was watching that, and typically you guys score in those situations.
Oh, yeah.
You know? Because I think there was only one out. Yeah, there was only one out after Tim got on. So it wasn't even a sacrifice bunt at that point. So you still had 2 outs to work with.
Yep.
And I thought you guys were at least going to tie it.
Yeah, so I think that was the 7th inning. Yeah, we pushed one across, and it might have even been on a walk, I think, maybe to Eric. But
yeah, that's right, it was.
We couldn't convert the rest of it. And, I mean, again, that was arguably our best chance to score all day, and we made some moves that inning. As far as pinch hitting Tim, he moved the runners and stayed on base.
Yeah.
So, but that's on us.
With a hit, right?
Yeah, no, that was a legit hit. I mean,
but it wasn't on there. That's what's funny.
Really?
Yeah, if you look at his stats, he does not have a hit.
Yeah.
Maybe they scored it a second.
Right.
But no out was made. So
right.
It should be a hit.
Oh, yeah. I'm watching the hit all day. But, he made a good point. He said that he would rather have the W than the hit. So
Yeah.
Yeah, because we brought it up last time, and he said, he would rather have the W. No,
so you weren't doing the book?
No. We had
who'd you have?
We had Connor on it. He was the guy that I think separated his shoulder or arm the last game of the season.
Okay, all right.
Did you hear about that? It was
No.
like full paramedics.
Yeah.
It was bad.
Well, no, when people thought it was Tim, right?
Oh,
on
yeah.
the mound, the lefty.
Yeah,
Oh,
'cause
yeah.
he's
Oh, yeah.
left-handed.
Yeah, because he shattered his right.
Oh, it was bad. I mean, I wasn't even looking. I was like trying to set the lineup because it was literally like 4 pitches into the game. I didn't see it. I heard it.
Wow, that bad.
That's how bad it was. I mean, game stoppage for 45 minutes. 911 medical.
Oh
Yeah. I saw
Yeah,
it.
I mean, we saw it. Carried him out on a stretcher and everything.
Yeah.
We talked a little bit about it, and that's just nobody wants to get hurt.
No, man.
Right?
No.
Injuries are terrible.
As I recall, I think you had to get carried off on a stretcher.
I
once
did
upon a
not get carried off. You can ask
Speaking
this
of
guy.
Saturday leagues.
Right?
No.
I walked off on my own power.
He did. He
That
did.
was against the Redbirds too. I wasn't there for that one.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah, we talked about that. I remember that. I mean, he did walk off on his own.
Yeah.
I mean, I drove him.
He had to drive me, but I walked off. But I would have had driven myself if it was that or take an ambulance. I definitely would have driven myself.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we weren't going to let him drive on his own, but it was definitely...
And I wasn't paying for an ambulance either.
No, I don't blame you, dude. I don't blame you, dude. The shit's expensive,
Yeah.
dude.
Well, they told me it was
Ambulances
coming, and I
are
said, no,
overrated.
you call them off. Like, no, I
Yeah.
don't think so.
I've heard of people using Ubers, like, to go to the hospital, like that. Like,
I mean, I think it should be like when you go rent a car. Do you want to decline the coverage?
Yeah.
yeah, right? That's funny, but...
But bottom line, yeah, injuries suck.
No, it does, man. I mean, luckily, you know, you came back. I told you last time, I was like, I didn't think he was gonna come back. Like, I was like, I'm never, because his whole time was like, dude, what the fuck am I doing?
Right, like I'm questioning everything. Right, I'm so
My
depressed. I'm
existential
like,
purpose in
right,
life.
like what the fuck am I doing? You know, it was 2 days before Christmas. Like, well, now I'm not even gonna work and all this, and everything just goes through your mind. You know, you're going crazy.
Dude.
But you know what? I was like, I'm not gonna let this beat me. Like, this isn't gonna stop me. Like, I'm better than this. You know, I'm not gonna let it beat me. I'm gonna come back, and you know, I'm not gonna be afraid of that.
No, and I think what another thing too sounds like. What's his name? His name is Connor.
Yeah, his name is Connor. He's a first-year player with us.
That's what I thought. You know, that's cool that he came over and helped with the book, because that's what Cody was doing with the Toros. He came over and he started helping us with the book and third base coaching and all that stuff while he was healing. But so I was like, all right, man, this dude's definitely dedicated to the game, definitely a team player. Even when he can't play, he still, come out, come
show
out.
up and support the team.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, if you really enjoy it, you want to be there. You know, regardless.
Yeah.
Like, I was going crazy. He's like, I got to get out of the house.
Right.
I got to see a baseball diamond.
Yeah. We got Bobby in the house too, man.
So Bobby, my favorite umpire.
Favorite umpire, man.
These guys were saying it wasn't Juan Sanchez, was it? That you were talking about the Pelicans and coming in with the Yardbirds?
No, it's I can't remember his name.
Okay.
He's managed in HHL forever, and
Okay.
it was the first season Saturday League. He had the Yardbirds.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't.
He'd always wear like a cage jacket, like big dude.
Man,
I can't remember the name. Adam would know who he is.
Yeah.
I know
yeah.
he's mentioned him.
Okay. Well, they said Juan Sanchez, so I thought
Yeah, but I wasn't sure if it was him either, but because I don't remember seeing Juan there.
Yeah.
I remember seeing Juan there, but I don't.
I feel like 30 plus. He might have had a Colt 45 team. One season or maybe two. Bruce used to play with him a lot. I know that.
Man,
Bruce Arnold.
Yeah, I know who. Yeah, I know who Bruce is. Yeah, I can't remember who that was, man. Because I really didn't think there was any more people. Berno?
Yes, Berno. That's
Yeah,
it.
Pedro.
Oh, there it is. Ding, 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 ding.
Ding.
Yeah, so Berno had the
We got a
Yardbirds
broken bat for you.
first season. And then remember he brought that Oilers team, like I think it was either that fall season they wore, it was like baby blue color.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
Yeah.
Baby Blue.
Yep.
Yeah, man, it's definitely you know, we've seen some stuff over the years, man. Yeah, you know, you're kind of right, man. I'm kind of digging that whole Hall of Famer, like just by the longevity.
Longevity, like hey, these guys supporting the league year after year.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
like the 400 club.
Yeah, right. I don't even want to add up the league fees that have been charged.
Right,
I mean,
right.
you guys skipped out on some, or you're still skipping out, but
Hey, but you know, I'm gonna go back to what you said earlier, man. When you talked about, and I agree with you, right? It's the players, not necessarily the managers that, you know, reason why you win the games and stuff. I agree with you at a certain point, but they're you know, managers do play a key role. Obviously, how the lineup goes, who you're gonna pitch, and also too, and I don't know if you remember this, but it was a few seasons ago on Sunday Cyclones. You gave this speech in the dugout. And dude, I ain't gonna lie, that motivated me. Like and like I think we were kind of like, I don't remember what you said, but it changed. We won that game, and I remember, right? And it was just simple words that he just came up with, and it just like was like, you know what, that's cool, man. It was I felt like there was a camera somewhere, like it was a movie, you know, like a baseball movie and shit.
Am I on camera?
Yeah, like what's going on here? But it was a cool speech. So there is sometimes where a coach, manager will influence, you know, how players play, you know.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess in that case, like I've never been a big public speaker or anything like that, but it was warranted, right?
Yeah.
Like we had been underperforming for most of the season, especially the last few games, and like I think that game, if we didn't win it, we were not going to make the playoffs.
Yeah, I
right?
remember. Yeah.
So, you know, it was warranted. That was the time something needed to be said, and I mean, we just needed to come together as a team, and that's what happened. But,
yeah, it worked out, man.
Did you have the recorder going in your pocket? And analyze it afterwards?
I wasn't broadcasting it live, no.
Damn it, I had too much emphasis on hits.
Yeah.
You could write stuff analyzing, right? Yeah, dude. Or he could have done the stanza with the tape recorder in the briefcase. See, we'll brought some Seinfeld in there.
That's it.
Born in the early 80s.
Oh man. But okay, so that was, you know, tough loss. I get it, man. So it was definitely a tough game, but it was a great game. It was a great game. I know you were not on the good end of that, but it was a great game where you kept it close. It was a nail biter. You didn't know who was going to win.
It was high leverage throughout. There wasn't a single moment in that game that it wasn't high leverage. You know, even when we left people on base, or they did the same, or you had what should have been a home run getting caught in foul territory, or in the case of Josh, what would have been a home run just caught in middle right field or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, even that balk, man, that was fucking weird. You don't see too many of those like that, you know, like the drop ball. I've only seen a couple of them like that. It's usually the you know, hey, you shifted your shoulder, or you didn't pick up your left foot, you picked up the right foot, whatever. But to drop the ball, you don't see that too much, and it, you know, it was kind of like, what the fuck.
Well, you know, we talked about the weather, and that could have had an impact on it, right?
I mean, that's what he told me.
Might get a little numb. Yeah.
So and he never rushes anything as far as him coming set. Like, he's very purposeful, but he's never rushing anything. He's always on his own pace with how he pitches, and you know, the ball just slipped. It was cold that day, and he's like, dude, I haven't balked like in 8 years.
Yeah.
Right.
And he played like D2 ball. So
It's tough to go out on
What's
that.
up, Jimmy?
You know,
it is, dude.
That's not how you want to lose a game. That's for sure. I mean, you never want to lose a game, but for something like that.
Yeah.
That is really a very small part of the game.
It
right?
is. I mean,
balk's a rare thing, right? Well, in some leagues, but yeah.
And then for it to be just to be a drop ball like that,
and also to have a guy on third. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, the guy could have been on first, goes to second. Well, big deal, or whatever.
Well,
second.
and I believe we had an error before that extended the inning, so he should have never even been on.
Well, that's
third.
just it. I was about to bring that up, because if you look at everything across the board, you guys are hanging with them. You actually had more hits than they did.
Yep.
But you get to the E column, and I don't know if this is right or not, but you guys had 5 errors to their 0.
Yeah. No, I think it's mostly correct. I mean, the left side of the infield had at least 3 errors. The balk was an error.
Yeah.
And then I think we had one more in there somewhere. But yeah, I mean, it's anytime you're in a playoff game or a meaningful game like that. I mean, you guys have said it repeatedly to the point of sounding like a broken record on here, is that you know, the team that makes less mistakes generally, they're at least going to be there at the end, if not win the game.
Yeah.
Then we'll move on from that topic.
For sure. No, for sure. Dude. I don't want to.
But
what's up, Tim Jones?
Yeah. Speaking of Tim, I was going to ask you. You know, whenever I see Tim pitch in the stats, right, I always see triple digits, right? He's always getting in the 120s, 130 pitch count, right?
Yeah.
But he didn't have that many. He only had 91, which is still quite a few.
Yep.
He had a blister. Is that right? Is that why you took him out?
Yeah, well, we had a conversation about it. So the previous week when we played the Ironbirds in the semifinal is actually where he got the blister. So we cut him off pretty quickly after that in that game, because, you know, obviously we didn't want to make it worse. And, you know, he'd already pitched like 8 innings, I think, at that point. Yeah. So he was able to, you know, do what he needed to do between games to get it repaired, prepared, you know, be game ready to go again. And, yeah, like he was able to be efficient in the championship and stuff like that. But he told me he's like it's getting close to popping up again. And I mean, we had Williams at that point, and
Yeah.
he's kind of been that role for us all season. So he's like, we need to go to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just shocked to see the pitch count under 100 and be done. So
Yeah, well, and if you also look at it, I mean, they were making contact too. It wasn't just all
right.
strikeouts.
Yeah.
No, well, that was the other thing too.
Again, only three strikeouts when normally those are in the double digits.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I mean, they're a contact hitting team, and they put the ball in play.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like when Jose was here last week, I mean, he said, he goes, it could have gone either way, man. That's how
Yeah.
game was, man.
It
It
was
just,
high leverage throughout, man.
Yeah.
I mean, even with the errors, I mean, we were right there at the end.
Yeah.
It was 2-2 in the ninth, and
Yeah.
I told our guys this. I think I even told Jose this, just because we have that kind of relationship. But I think if we would have gotten out of the ninth inning, still tied,
Still tied, right?
I really liked our chances to win that game, just based on where we were in the lineup. We had top of the lineup coming up.
Yep.
And then they were, I think, maybe 5 or 6.
Yeah.
So, but
no
that's
California
baseball.
rule.
No California rule in the
Yeah.
playoffs. So.
That's the way you play baseball, man. You don't just end it on 2.5 hours, right?
Yeah.
This is a championship game. We go 9 innings. Yeah. So, man, it was a great game, but
Yeah.
so anything? I guess I gotta ask this. Would you do anything different?
I mean, like I said, in that 7th inning, we made some moves because we felt like that was our best chance
Yeah.
to score all day. So, Tim came in and did his thing. He's been reliable for moving guys over in
Yeah.
spots like that. So, no regrets about that one. We were still down 1 run. We made a pinch running move at third base. On a sac fly, you need to have the speed on the base. And again, like, you just look at how that game unfolded. Like, that was our time to make moves and strike. But, we only got 1 run that inning. And, I don't know. I reflected on it quite a bit, like, the day or two after. But,
Yeah.
it's just, you
The
can
good
play
ones
those.
do, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
you can play those if then, but
Of course.
games all day long. But like
It's not
again,
healthy.
it can go either way.
It's not healthy. You drive yourself crazy.
Yeah.
and-
Hey, still,
because we all done it.
we
Well,
still
and you
know.
can do that at the front end of a game too. Like, I've been
Yeah.
guilty of that, where it's paralysis by analysis.
Yeah. No, I think
Why did I swing at that? Right?
Yeah,
Think about
always
it
do.
a week.
it is, man. You sit there and you're like,
And it's even worse when you can't play another game after that to get it over with or to not think about it anymore. To end it like that, it's like, great,
Yeah.
now I have the whole off season to think about it.
Yeah, I mean, I told those guys right after. I was just like, I'm sorry, guys. That's a shitty way to lose. Like, there's
Yeah.
like, I couldn't have controlled that. You guys couldn't have controlled that. Like, it's a fluke outlier thing that happened.
It was, man.
Yeah.
It was definitely. What's up, Jay Cree? And we got Sarah Ghost in the house too.
You got
you know-
Austin bullied too.
Yeah, Austin Bullies in here. That's cool, man. And I agree, man. You can't just overanalyze it. It is what it is, and you obviously wanted a different outcome. But let's shift gears to the Friday League. I mean, that was a great.
No more losses. Let's talk about a win.
Let's talk some wins here, man. Let's talk about why we're gonna get bats
Yeah,
tomorrow.
Let's talk about inaugural championship.
We were one day short of having the bats here on the show,
The
man.
bats were gonna make an appearance in the chair.
Yeah. So, but
we could have postponed.
I did offer that.
you did. I said, hey, I said, Cody's trying to make his way to the Hamptons. We can't postpone that.
Tis the season.
Tis the season, bro. I said we can't do this another day.
Cody's got a date under the mistletoe.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, we got Eddie here. Look, you guys another Longhorn.
Eddie?
He's a Longhorn. But that was I think very cool. I think I got a lot of people hyped up Friday League. People like the Friday Night Lights.
Yep.
I have a lot of people inquiring about that league, and I told them, and I think I'm correct, is that we're only doing it fall, right? They're not.
That's the game plan, yeah.
Yeah.
So most of the teams from Friday, I think, I don't know, maybe there's an exception. I don't know. But, yeah, most of those teams are going to Sunday, I believe, in the spring. And then, obviously, we got the Yard Goats coming back, and I think the Aces as well. So I think we're expecting to have something on the order of, like, 8 teams there for Sunday League.
Cool.
Which will be nice.
Yeah, that'll work. So, but, that Friday night being the first inaugural season was definitely cool. Playing that night, I think a lot of people liked it. I definitely enjoyed it.
Well, that's something that HBA, doesn't normally do. Play at night, right? And
Yeah.
it's all during the day. Every once in a while, well, with all these teams, you get a night game in there, but to do it consistently, yeah, there's just something about playing under them.
Yeah, and it's not like it's just another weeknight either. Like
Yeah.
it's Friday night, and I mean, there's a lot of people that just, for whatever reason, they can't play Saturdays or Sunday. Their kids have baseball or something.
Yeah.
So I think that was a unique opportunity, and I think it also gave the opportunity to teams like the Hot Shots and maybe some other teams that otherwise wouldn't have come over to try out HBA and see what it's about.
Yeah.
And what's also nice about it, and I'm sure you guys agree, we all have experience in weeknight leagues, right?
Yep.
And we do them on Monday or Tuesday, Wednesday, and it's like, okay, we're playing a game till 10:30. You get home 11:30, 12.
Get up and
We
go
got
to
to
work
work the next day, right?
Yeah.
And that's what's great about doing it every Friday. You don't have to deal with that.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, when we had that Friday night game, I think it was either either this spring season or the season before. I was like, I remember, putting the manager like, man, this is great, dude. Like,
Do this more often.
let's do this more often. I'm down to do this like once a month and get that team and do it, because playing at night on a Friday, and if you get that W, that's a good start to the weekend.
Yeah.
So I definitely like it. I'm glad we did it. So it was a great season. 6 teams, right?
Yeah, it was 6 teams. We did a shorter season just because it's fall, so 10 games plus single limb playoffs. And yeah, I liked it quite a bit because I mean, especially coming off the summer and dog days and hot and stuff like that, it's nice to be able to have at least one day a week where you're playing ball and it's cooler and you don't have to get up and go to work the next day.
Yeah, I think that's what helps a lot of people, because I know when we would play HHL, man, playing at night, and like he said, you get home 11:30, 12, and you're like kind of dragging ass the next day, I mean, shit, the same thing on Wednesdays, right? On Wednesdays after the show, we're dragging ass too.
Yeah,
So,
So that's why sometimes it's nice to work from home, right?
yeah. Yes, it is. Very nice to work from home. But it was a good season. We were able to see the Hot Shots come over. They're definitely what they've said they were. It was a good team. They're very competitive.
As advertised.
Yeah, as advertised, it was a good team. And there was other teams that the Perros, and then they got the who were the other guys? The Vatos.
Yep.
Vatos didn't have a really good season, but the Perros were they had okay season.
They were competitive at times. I mean, they had one of the best pitchers in the league because he got the MVP.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Christian, I think his name is.
And then of course we had the Naturals too in there, and then
yeah, and I think the Naturals took a step forward this past season because Corey combined, or
Saturday,
condensed, whatever you want to call it, the River Dogs, and then into the Naturals, and I think it showed. I mean, what was their semifinal, like 5-3 or something?
Yeah,
like that
yeah.
with the Hot Shots. So Hot Shots didn't have an easy path to the championship exactly.
Yeah, no, it was they locked in the number 1 seed. But that that night was I remember it was a little cold, man. It was a very and by the way, you gotta keep an eye on Eddie. He's trying to steal Tim Jones from you.
I mean, Eddie's been hard at it here this off.
He's an agent. We're gonna call him.
Stove is hot.
Yeah.
It is, man. He's some shoes, man. He's offering. You come over, sign the contract, you get a new pair of Jordans or some shit.
Bribing with the sneakers, huh?
Bribing with the sneakers.
Personalized.
Personalized Eddie B Customs. There's your promo shot. I still haven't got my Pirates. I gave him my cleats like 2 years ago and shit. I still haven't got my Pirate cleats.
I don't think you're gonna see them.
I don't think. Right?
No, not after.
I think he owes me for what he did, taking my third baseman. Yeah.
I think he will believe you owe him.
Right. He's like, I still got to collect, right?
Supply chain issues.
Yeah.
At least some draft picks, I think, will balance out now.
Yeah, dude, that's funny. So how did you think that game went? I mean, what was your thoughts on the Hot Shot game?
Yeah, so I mean that was a very different game than the other one. That was a game again where you had 2 best teams. It wasn't that somebody upset somebody and that's how they got there or anything like that. But yeah, I mean both teams definitely made some miscues. Us early on, I think for sure, and then them later on. But yeah, it was just a very different game. Like both teams took advantage of those errors or miscues, and then both teams, I think, hit the ball reasonably well, played good defense, at least apart from the miscues. But
What's up, Adrian?
and
Yeah.
then I mean, there's all kinds of things we could talk about with that game.
I mean, to me, well, shoot, you know what we got to talk about too, man, is the playoff game, man. You guys, with that 2-part playoff game to get to the championship was fucking nuts, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
You have a good record for a continuation of playoff games.
he's super
You
duper
had a
at
front
it.
row seat for that, as I recall.
Yeah.
I don't think the next team that goes against you in that scenario, it's not going to look too good for them.
Yeah.
I'll suspend a game anytime I get the opportunity.
He's like, go cut the lights, Tim. Go cut the lights.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I think I mean, for me, man, I was out of town when you guys played that second half.
But you were there for the first half.
I was, man, and it was not looking good for us.
Nope.
Not at all. I don't think it was looking good. I could not throw the ball that day, man. I couldn't fucking hit the guy in the chest at first, man. So I had a few errors in my belt, so I didn't help the team as much as I should have. But you guys were able to pull it off. I was watching from Florida, man, and I was just like excited, man. I just couldn't believe it. I'm like, oh shit, these dudes are pulling it off, man. It's like a Cinderella story.
Yeah.
So and it was great, man. I mean, my teammates did a good job, man. Pulling that shit together, man.
Without you, so that's what you're saying. Ultimately, I think that's what you're saying.
That's what I think was the difference, right? I wasn't there to fuck it up.
Say, I'm not going to stay in Texas. I'm going to go ahead and go to another state. So there's not the possibility of me showing up.
Fucking that shit up, man.
Do you remember what the score was when we resumed, or what the score was when we ended, and then?
I think we were down by 4.
We were still down.
Yeah, we were down, dude. Like it didn't look good. Like it did not look good. We were down like.
Pull up the box score.
Yeah, you got the box score there?
I don't have the box score, but I have some stats.
Oh, from that game Friday?
Yeah. Well, my box. When I say box score, the book, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because my thing was we were down either 4 or 2.
I mean, we were
runs.
down 9-2 in the third.
Yeah, dude.
Against Lunsford.
Yeah, I mean it was not looking good at all, man, and it didn't see the continuation. Like, all right, that gives us a fresh start, and
But we put up some runs before it got suspended too. So I think Postma hit his.
I know,
home
but
run before
I
that.
mean, but like you said, there was a big gap. So even when we did put up more runs, I think it's either 2
It was
or maybe.
still like we're down 2 or 3 runs.
Yeah, and I was just like, oh shit, I don't know what's gonna happen. But
What do you want to know?
what was the score?
What was the
It's 13-12.
right? What was the score in the 7th or 8th inning? I think that's when we cut it.
So 10 to 8.
Yeah, 10-8.
10
That
to
sounds
8.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think what happened, correct me if I'm wrong, is the game resumed. It was 10-8. I think we made
Petro
it like
says 11.
11-8. It was 11-8.
Yeah, say 3 runs.
11-8. Okay.
11-8.
Yeah, and then I think we put up a run or two, so it was maybe like 11-10 or something, and then they put up another run, so it was like
Yeah.
2 steps forward, 1 step
Yeah.
back.
Yeah, they
dude.
put up 1 in the 9th, and then you guys came back with 4.
Oh, so our entire 4 runs came in
The 9th. That's what it shows here.
I think it would have been the 10th, but yeah, you're right.
Okay.
Yeah, because we ended up going to extras.
So
for
you'd
that.
had the 1, in the 11th, of course, but
yeah.
so
we tied it in the 9th.
you tied it in the
That's what
9th,
you're
right,
saying.
and
Yeah,
then that 1 in the 11th to seal it.
yeah. But again, that speaks to the resilience of, I mean, our team that season. I mean, to be down 9-2 in the third, but I mean, we had good pitching. I mean, we brought Coulter in for part of that. I mean, that was. I mean, figuring that one out, I mean, you never draw it up that way where he's throwing, I think he threw 60 pitches in the first part of that game, then it suspended. Then he came back and threw another 60 pitches, 80 pitches, something like that.
Yeah.
Second out, and then it was like 150 in the championship. So, but that's who he is, and that's who he
100%,
was
dude.
all season. And we tried to manage his workload, I think, with that in mind, where he'd still have plenty of gas in the tank, come postseason. But he also got hurt, in that spring season, if you remember. Like, he started late and then he got hurt. But he had also come off a fall season, I think, in 2020, where he definitely had some arm fatigue and that type of thing. So he was probably due for a break maybe in the spring. But
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah, I mean, culture was definitely, a really a key element. But I mean, we actually, I like the team that we put together on the Friday. Not to take nothing away from the Sunday one, but it definitely was a little bit different.
Well, we only returned about half the roster because most of the guys are accustomed for however many years they've been playing that they don't play ball in the fall.
Yeah,
so, we got guys like Pedro and Xavier and Ryan Cody and Eric, and so that team was still plenty competitive. And,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely a good day. It was a nail biter for sure, man. I was sitting there going, "Oh shit, we're gonna go to the championship." But we knew we were gonna see the hot shots there. So,
Yep.
and that ended up, like I said, being a very, very good, competitive game. And you can't count these dudes out either. I mean, they're like they'll come back on you. So.
Well, they were trying to.
Yeah.
That ninth inning.
Yeah.
They were trying to get something going.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about great teams. Whether it's them or the Yard Goats or even the Cyclones inside, is like they can hurt you in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
It's because there's not an easy out, right? It's like 1 through 9, it's going to be tough.
And it doesn't either. Like you can play your clean defense, best defense you've had all season, and they can still hurt you quickly. So
yeah, and I mean the other thing too, man. You sit there and some nerves go up a little bit, right? The championship game, right?
For sure.
I will say that I don't believe there's anything different you play about the game, but there is some nervousness that you go through that you have to kind of calm down, because it's like you're trying to get that, you're trying to get that win. You're close, and then the other team's fighting just as hard as you are, and
you don't want to be the guy that messes it up.
Hell no, you don't want to be the guy that fucking.
I will say some guys for sure they can channel it to like dial it up, right?
Yeah.
Whether it's focus or slowing the game down or letting the game come to them. I mean, I think Coulter's somebody like that. I think
I would agree with that. Yeah.
Tim Jones is somebody like that. As much postseason ball as Josh Booth has played, I think he's probably somebody like that. He doesn't get rattled by the moment.
He doesn't. He looks pretty chill. I don't know if I've ever seen him excited. I don't know if I've ever. I don't know if I've ever seen any emotion out of him.
I mean, he's always excited.
You should probably go hunting with him.
Or just talk about hunting.
Yeah.
What, dude? Oh, one of these games I rolled up and he's over there fucking cutting a fucking duck.
I was there for that.
I was like, what the fuck? Like in between innings, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? So
his eyes light up like a fastball right down the middle. Huh?
Yeah, dude. I mean, he definitely has a game. He definitely loves hunting, but I don't think I've ever seen him charged up one way or the other. Like he's even kill. So,
yeah.
But it was definitely that kind of season, man. It was definitely a good season for everybody, man. I mean, you saw, like you said, Coulter, man, he just kind of dials it up, and then just seeing him beast through that Friday night game, man, was just I've seen him do it before. I've seen him do it on other on Sunday Cyclone games. I've seen him come through. I've seen him do it on the Redbirds games. So I mean, I know he has it in him, but it's just cool, man. Just like, man,
127 pitches.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and I mean, again, like I think he just even within, when he knows he's nearing the end, whether it's pitch count or getting towards the, like he dials it up even more.
Yeah.
Because you see it, like last couple innings of that game, as he's going out there, I'm like, short leash.
Yeah.
It's like, yep.
Yeah.
Well, 12 Ks and 2 walks. I mean, that's a pretty good ratio.
Yeah. I mean, for sure, man. I mean, it was it was crazy, man. I mean, and it was a cold night too, man. So like you don't want to hit the ball when you don't want to jam yourself up. You don't want to hurt something, because it was just cold that night. I mean, I think I had even hand warmers on.
Yeah. You want to try not to swing at the first pitch,
Armando's in the corner of the dugout with what do they call those, the Snuggie blankets?
Oh man, I should have bought a heater blanket and everything. I remember because Cody was there too. See, Cody's dedicated to this. He was definitely back there. And I remember when I went up there, bases loaded, X saved me with that sac fly.
Yep.
Cody's like, "Hey man, so you're gonna watch, right?" I said, "Yeah, I'm gonna watch." Nope. Nope.
Yeah, he's gonna watch you go right up in the air.
Oh man, it was funny, man. But of course, Cody adds the pressure of like, "Hey man, come on, this is what baseball says," and it's true. He's right. I should have watched a few pitches, but X saved me from looking really stupid on that. So
yeah, for sure.
So how do you feel like the league's going with having the 365 and the Friday night and shit like that.
I mean, it's as you said earlier. It's just everybody should have the opportunity to play, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
having different skill levels or however you want to describe it. I mean, look, that's how Saturday League got started. I think you guys remember the days when people used to talk down to Saturday League, right?
Yeah.
And then, now it's not the intermediate and competitive league.
Right,
It
right.
hasn't been that way for at least 2 years.
I know we were actually talking about last time of you remember Jonathan, right? The Toros manager.
Yeah, yeah.
We were talking about like how if he were to come back and see how this is, he wouldn't recognize it. Like, what the hell is this? You know?
Yeah. Well, I've said that too about what's his name, Tony. Didn't he move to Florida?
Yes,
Yeah.
your buddy Tony. Yes.
We did. We didn't get along.
We'll call him the originator. The podcast kind of stemmed from him.
He would be an interesting guest. on the
No, dude,
podcast.
he was. Yeah, I agree with that. He was he would have been the four. It would have been me, Cody, Omar, and Tony. Man, like that. He came up with it, and then just kind of fizzled out, and then.
I don't think you liked any of our managers.
You're telling me. I mean, yeah, Jonathan was okay.
Yeah. I mean, Jonathan was cool. He was different, but it's not the same baseball we play today, man.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Not at all, man. But I definitely, like you said, I like the how we picked up the competitive level. And then you got people coming in. I mean, you got people coming from Coastal,
Yep.
people coming in from Mexican League, different talents to come check out what's here. And then, Jose Pedraza, Cyclones always talks very well about the league. So it's definitely good. And we'll continue to go, man. Hopefully,
I feel like the Saturday League is it's filled up right in the fall season, whereas it seems like it kind of thins out because of the Sunday League. Whenever it kicked back up.
Yeah, I've seen that dynamic
Just
before
'cause
too,
they're-
where you feel
yeah.
like maybe the talent at the Saturday League tryout is better in the fall than it is the spring or something. Like I definitely noticed that in like 18,
Right, and there's a
19.
lot of crossover. Like there's Sunday League guys. All right, well, I want to play all year. I'll go play on Saturday or whatever.
Yeah.
And maybe some of them didn't do Friday because they just didn't know what it was going to be.
Right.
But they know Sunday, so it's like, well, you have commitments on Sunday.
Mhm.
What if you can't do the whole weekend? What are you going to do?
Well, and I also think the growth of Saturday League is
Yeah.
because there weren't many leagues you could go play Saturdays before
No, it was-
that came up. And Sunday you got Mexican League and Coastal.
Yeah.
I mean, even HHL. So it's, it's almost like the NFL is like HBA monopolized one of the weekend days just because nobody else was.
Yeah, I mean, like Tim Jones said, Saturday League is 100 times better than it was when I moved from Sundays.
I
So
agree with that.
I definitely definitely agree with that. That it's completely it's day and night. I mean,
Yeah.
the talent that was there the first year is not gonna compete with what we have today. So
Speaking of like the fall league, right, where it's actual fall and then it kind of goes into winter, whereas
Fall is a loose term in
Right.
South Texas.
well, I think summer is kind of a loose term, right? Because we call it the summer season, right? But
I've always thought of it as spring.
Well,
I
me
don't-
too, but
yeah.
I think it's a lot of people. Well, I think the website says summer, maybe. I don't know unless it was changed. But
Yeah.
now I noticed that we're starting in February,
Yep.
and when we used to start in March.
Yeah, so I think part of that's he hasn't felt like we've had a long enough off season between spring and fall, and some of that was, made worse by COVID. Some
Yeah.
of that's been rainouts and seasons even before that. So I think he's just the intention was to start earlier, and then you finish earlier. But I mean, I looked at it the other day with the number of games we're expecting, and then playoffs, and then you got to account for rainouts and stuff. It's still gonna be June or early July by the time we finish, and that's with minimal rainouts.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I still think it's gonna be a quick turnaround, but obviously it's better if you start 2 or 3 weeks earlier than you would otherwise, and you give yourself more breathing room that way. Schedule.
And the tryouts end of January,
Oh, really?
the 29th, I think,
I
right? Yeah.
I think it's Pro Bowl weekend. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Pro Bowl. See, I remember. See how you correlate those two things to get Pro Bowl weekend.
So it might still be a little chilly.
Ah, man, I hate the cold weather, man. I hope not. Well, dude, I was sitting there thinking about, when you talk about spring training, like it's not like we're all training in the winter,
Yeah.
for, for the spring, because it's cold out there. So,
Have you ever lived somewhere cold, Armando?
dude, I hate it, dude. I know it's California in here. That was it.
Southern California, South. You don't know what cold is.
Exactly.
bro.
I know you're from Wisconsin, right?
Yeah, Upper Midwest.
Yeah. So that's my point. Like I just not used to this shit, man. I hate it. First thing I do when I wake up, I'm like, hey Alexa, what's the temperature outside? And she says 40. I'm like, oh, I guess I'm not going outside. I guess I'm ordering in.
Armando in his robe with his cup of coffee and a Snuggie blanket.
Hell yeah, dude. And it's even worse when you're playing in the cold, man. So,
Yeah.
but I definitely I would definitely agree with pushing it or starting it early just to see if we can try to get a better gap. I agree with that.
Because it is Texas, and the weather's probably going to be decent in February.
Yeah, and I think it's better too. Like people are, whether it's wedding weekends or other trips they're trying to plan in the summer. I think it's a little bit easier if you can say, okay, we should be done by whatever, end of June, and then you can go on some trips in July or early August and know that you're not going to miss playoff games.
How many bats did you order for this order?
For each league or both?
Just that, because it's just Friday and Saturday, right? No, Friday and Saturday.
It's Friday and Saturday. So I did them as two separate orders, but if you're asking the total both, so I believe Jose wanted a few extras. So I think it turned into it was somewhere in the mid 40s.
Damn.
Multiple box, not all in one box.
I was gonna say that's a big ass box, dude.
Yeah.
Heavy.
Heavy ass box.
I think I did one end of last summer in the fall. I think I sent you the photo.
Yeah.
It was the same thing. It was like 44.
That's a little forest right there.
They come straight to you? You lay them out on like your bed or something, roll around on them?
You're reading me like a book.
Dude, that's a lot of.
Set them up all over your wall, take a picture real quick.
I mean, even my
Don't zoom in.
fiance comes in. She's like, "It's pretty impressive."
Yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
And this is just for my first season.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Oh man. What does it say? Let's see. Cameron says definitely more exciting, competitive now. Yeah.
Yeah, Cameron's been around for a bit too.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. I like David said. I had that Friday night. I had hand warmers in my gloves, and I think in my shoes too. Man, it was just.
Someday I want to see you with it's like the ski mask with the open face, showing up to a game.
Dude, I think I did bring like something to put on my face. 'Cause I think I definitely layered up. I did not want to be cold, man. I don't want to feel it.
I'm sure it had skulls on it.
Right, the half skull face.
Yeah,
for sure, man. It's I just hate it, man. So what do we got on HHL?
HHL, well, they're still kicking. They're still playing in this weather. God help them.
Man, no shit.
I know the 40 and up the 30 and up.
I like the comment, Jose.
She says that's a lot of wood. Yeah.
So 22nd, we got 2 games. What is that? That's tomorrow, Wednesday.
It is. That's close to Christmas.
Yeah. Well, I guess, all their rainouts and starting late. They got to be wrapping up here pretty soon.
Yeah.
So there's 2 games tomorrow. There was a game on Friday. Thunder beat the Panthers 6-1. Let's just look at the standings.
I've seen that movie before.
I think the Diablos are still up there. 9-2-1. Thunder, they moved into second now. 8-5-0. Panthers are 7-5-1. JS Texas 5-8. And the Armadillos 2-11. I think I saw Tim in here.
Tim 2-11, huh?
Yeah.
Well, that's it. Their inaugural season, so hopefully they come back and then they have a better season. I think Cameron's in that team too, if I remember right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So then they can comment. Are you guys close to the playoffs? You
Yeah,
in the playoffs?
so
where are you at?
Obviously, Pedro just chimed in. He said that Thunder's in the playoffs, which
Okay.
I'm not surprised by that.
No.
I'm
Is
sure
it
that
still double elimination?
I think so. Pedro, this double elimination. I don't think Carlos is on here, but then you also, I'm pretty sure that the damn Panthers and Diablos are going to be in there. And, well, everybody makes playoffs, right?
Yeah.
If I remember right. If I remember right.
Well,
They
so we're
did
at-
the last couple seasons. Yeah.
So 13 games. I guess you got to be pretty much in the playoffs or right to it. How many
Yeah.
games did we play?
Yeah, they
It
may
was
have
like 10 or 11.
started later too. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, he says double. Cameron says double elimination.
And
Gotcha.
when do they start?
Well,
Or if they've already started.
have you guys started already? Let's see what happens.
Did we? Because I don't remember playing 13 games in the regular season.
Dude, it's hard for me to keep track of like between all the leagues. I don't. I never.
I think maybe they picked up some teams. I don't know.
Well, you got JS Texas, and then you got the Armadillos.
Yeah.
But I mean, you got
you lost the Marauders.
the Monitors. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did anybody else? Who else? Who else? That?
You know, the standings, those wins.
And the,
that
yeah,
might
the
include-
Cyclones.
that
So
might
really, it's the
include
same.
playoffs,
It's the
I
same.
think.
Yeah, it's got to be. It's the same amount of teams because the Cyclones and the Marauders are
Yeah,
going.
I think it's like 5 teams.
Yeah.
So yeah, Pedro says we beat the Panthers 6-1 first game, waiting on whoever wins.
Okay, so that Friday that was a playoff game.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so we have to keep an eye on that.
Okay.
Is that it for that?
We can jump to 40.
Okay, let's see what we got
Which,
for it.
you know, the Hurricanes usually stay on top. Yeah, 10-2, but the Cyclones are in second at 8-5. Angels 6-6, and they'll need some help in the 40 and up. He's 1-12.
Wow, man.
Yeah. He all his
Who's
fo-
1 and
his fo-
12?
the Panthers
In the 40.
40. Yeah.
40. Yeah.
They don't have any 38-year-olds.
Perhaps.
Oh man.
So
Hey.
they got to be in the playoffs too.
Somebody was asking me.
Yeah, there's 13
Can you-
games.
Can you be? You have to turn 30 in the year they start, right? Is that what it is?
In the calendar year.
Yeah, calendar year. Okay. Because somebody was telling me they were
That's
29.
the way I always understood it, but then even that changed.
It's true. It's true. Oh man.
The 35 and up, they already had their championship.
Who won that one?
The Bobby told us. I could go back and look. Then that just
Because there was only 4 teams in that division, right?
the 35,
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
the Hurricanes. Yeah.
Armadillos were Armadillos were using 25-year-olds.
Were they really? Who said that?
Pedro just said that.
Ooh, 25. His fall season Cyclones teams wouldn't. Yeah, definitely. You know, I saw the roster for the Hurricanes. I'm like, damn, it's a lot. I mean, a lot of guys that we know
Yeah.
and play with. You
Yeah.
know.
And Marauders went to 35 and up, but you probably knew that.
Yep. Well, they were doing that, I think, but that
Before?
started this spring. Cause,
Well, they had a team in there.
yeah, well, it started. I think the 35-plus division started in the spring, and then I think that's just continued. But their first season was our last season, 30-plus. Because I think
I
Joe's
thought this
managing that team.
was the first season of 35.
So did I.
Well,
No,
that,
second?
that started in like March or April or something like that. Because I think what happened was there was a constraint on the field because the city fields didn't reopen till like
I thought
May.
it was supposed to start, but it got pushed back.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah, I think that's what happened. I think it is the first season, but it was supposed to start earlier in the year, but with fields and whatever. Yeah.
There was so much going on between rainouts and COVID and just man, it was just a interesting season for sure.
It's a hell of a year.
Hell of a year,
It's
exactly.
been a hell of a couple years.
That too. I would agree with that. Right, it all started in 2020, but
Well, I don't want to leave out the 55 and up.
let's give 55 some. Let's give 55 some
Give us
love.
some love. Right? They're still playing out there in the cold weather. We got the Tigers 8-1-1. The Stars Stop me if you've heard these teams. 7-3. The Cardinals are 5-4. Skeeters 5-4. Diablos 4-6. The Hombres are 2-6-1, and the Colts round out the bottom at 1-8.
Is there an open division? Or they're not do fall?
No, I don't see a fall
I
open.
thought there was an open division.
You know, I thought there was. Oh, there sure is.
Yeah, I'll say that's.
There's not an age in front of it, so it's.
Oh,
it's a
is that a little misleading?
Yeah.
It's open division, man.
Fine. We'll. I think the A's won it
Last year?
well, no, this season.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm sorry. Yeah,
Yeah. So they were 10-1-1, but I think it's over with. The Hooks 6-6. Roughnecks finished at 4-7. Desperados 3-9. But I think I saw something about the A's winning the championship.
I think I saw that.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah. Man,
All year round.
it's all baseball, man.
And Obrera, they're playing, right?
Somebody asked me like, "Hey, when is the season start?" I said, "Fool, as soon as the first one starts, the next one's already going." When we're at the playoffs, I'm like, "Dude, there's teams playing already the next season." The last championship.
It kind of takes away from
There's no off season.
Right?
There is no option. I mean,
Do
that's
you
what
think
I'm
that takes away from like the person who won the championship? Like, there's really not any time to like, hey, to raise the flag, right? Hold the
Nah,
flag.
man, it's crazy because, when I first started playing baseball here in Houston, there is no fall and summer season. Like it's just based, like it just ends and it starts, and just depending on the rainouts and stuff, because that's what was going on with the championship. The other part was already starting. Was already going. So it's just kind of weird. Like you stop and then you go. So it's up to you if you want to continue to go. I mean, like you saw like this season, you got the Gulf Coast Hot Shots, Indians and the Hot Shots combining, because the Hot Shots are not coming back. Oh, not coming back. Well, took a break. I'm sorry, took a break, and so it's one of those things where they'll probably be back in the next season. Start up again, but. It's and even Coastal just ended their season, and stuff, and so, and then they're I think theirs was a little confusing because you had like the Bullies that had like 12, I don't know, like 14 wins or something or some.
Yeah, I think it was 12. It was 12.
12-1, right?
12-1,
yeah, and then everybody else was like didn't look like they hadn't even.
And they didn't win, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't.
Was that? I thought that was just a tournament team. Who
No.
are they?
So they're from Austin and they came to play the season over here. But what
They're playing a whole season over here?
Well, their record is 12-1, I think.
So this
like, that's not a tournament.
Yeah.
No. So we had the coach on a few episodes ago, or maybe
it was last.
Was it episode?
Yeah, I think we still have a bully in here, maybe.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, if he's in there, chime in. But what they were saying was because they're from Austin, what they were doing was, and they're part of the MSBL.
Right. Yeah.
They would come and schedule, like they were basically doing tournaments almost, right? Because they were coming in and playing like 3 or 4 games, like one doublehead. Yeah, doublehead on Saturday and then like one game on Sunday, or the other way around, or 4. I don't know, but they were playing like 3 or 4 games in one weekend, getting a hotel and then going back. So like every other weekend they were coming in.
But why?
They just wanted to see because they were saying, hey, Coastal.
They were trying to expand. I guess they were limited in the games they could play in Austin.
And also with what he was telling me was that the Bullies was like essentially like an all-star team, right? Because it wasn't one team.
I see.
Yeah, they brought a bunch of guys together. And, they want to see what the competition level was over here. And so we were talking about HBA, like, hey, you need to come out, check out, Saturday, Sunday over here. And they didn't know any of the other leagues exist. I said, there's plenty of baseball, man. It's whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Well, my thoughts are, if you're 12-1, it's like, okay, well, I must be running the leagues where I am. Let me go. I want to be competitive.
Yeah.
I got to seek out, right?
So.
I think there's a MABL league over there. I looked it up one time.
Did they?
Yeah, and maybe it's MSBL. I don't know. But
Yeah, because that's what they were telling me. He was MSBL, and the
it's only as good as its president, right?
Oh man,
4-year terms,
right?
Term limits.
Term limits, right? But I think him coming over here, it's gonna be interesting because to see him in the Classic, right? Because I mean, that's a good segue into the Classic conversation because. They essentially won the fall tournament in Coastal, and then I don't know how the math worked out, but for some reason they didn't get first place in regular season, which I don't know why that worked out. But then now they're gonna play in the Classic, and so it's gonna be interesting to see how they do in that, because I don't really know how much competition was still left over once the Hot Shots and Cuba left, right? So I'm not talking crap about the other
Yeah,
teams,
yeah.
but
I
it
hear you.
just
Because they ran that league.
yeah,
For
they
the
ran
most
that league.
part.
Yeah, so it just kind of it's gonna be interesting to see that.
Yeah.
But
Cuba doesn't play in Coastal anymore.
no, not anymore. No, they're no better now. So
But they are doing the classic.
yes,
Right. Yeah.
So and it's gonna be some good baseball, man. Suppose
I remember hearing about it last year.
yeah, no, but this year like it got hype. Like actually was good. Like
I saw the Team South roster. It's like, yeah, that's it.
yeah, it's gonna be very very interesting. Very interesting. Great weather, but the
Yep.
schedule's already out. I'm not gonna go over the schedule here tonight, but what I'll do is I'll post it tomorrow. Screenshot all the teams' schedule, but it's the 7th, 8th, and 9th, if I remember right, of January. So, and this will be our last show for the next couple of weeks, and then we'll have a show after that for the classic, and then
A bonus show.
a bonus show,
We're
right?
gonna end season 3, maybe a bonus show.
Yeah, a bonus show, right?
A mid-season
Off-season
show.
bonus.
What do they call that in the show? It's bonus, right? Like with DVD bonus, like director's
An
cut.
encore.
Some uncut clips.
On some uncut clips, right? So, but I think it's gonna be some fucking great baseball, man. I'm really hyped up about it. Are you gonna go watch? Are you gonna go?
I mean, it's kind of down by me, so I probably should now.
Yeah, I mean it's Tim's supposed to throw over there. I think,
Yeah, no, there's Booth and Tim,
Yeah.
and I think Eric, and
Raul, yeah.
even Williams, Raul. Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
that roster's stacked.
Yeah.
Like, I hope they win it.
Yeah.
They should win it.
Yeah,
At least
yeah.
on paper.
Yeah, it's on paper, but I think it's I mean it's gonna be crazy, man. Because those are the people we recognize. But then there's I was looking at original Team Mexico. Like I didn't recognize anybody, but that's almost good or bad, right? Because is that good because they brought in some studs or
Right.
whatever, and so
People they haven't seen before.
yeah,
or something.
exactly.
Like you can recognize a bad name like a good name, and you didn't do both. Is that what you're saying?
I couldn't recognize.
Yeah,
Yeah, I couldn't
Well, I
recognize.
remember you guys covering that last January, and there was guys throwing 90 plus down. I mean, easy.
Yeah, yeah. Well, they had the radar going.
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna be some, and because of the success of last season, it's definitely brought more teams. It's definitely brought more teams.
From
they're
out of Houston, I bet.
Yeah. Well, Austin Blues being like one of them, right?
Yeah.
Like, their team USA, and then you got Team USA South, and then Mexico North, Cuba South. I mean, it's like 10 teams or something like that. So, where before it was only a few teams last year, and
Right.
they got, I think they got, 2 fields at Coastal, and then I think they got Mason Park
Okay.
1 for the 3rd field. So, and that's a 3-day weekend tournament. So it's gonna be some exciting shit, man. I hope the better games are at Coastal, so we can watch, kind of go back and forth. But
Yeah.
yeah, you're gonna have guys throwing 90. I mean, you're gonna have professional. Because last year they had guys from the Hooks, from Corpus Christi.
Yep.
Yeah, throwing, and then they had guys from the team, some guys who play in Mexico professionally coming over
Yeah.
too. So,
Yeah.
you just don't know, man.
And then they would have had Fernando
Fernando Nieves.
Nieves.
Yeah. If Manny wouldn't have gotten away,
Yeah.
they would have had Fernando Nieves.
I don't think I heard that story.
You have it? I'll tell you off air because I think the audience has heard it enough.
Yeah.
That's lived in Manny lore. For
Oh yeah, dude, I hate
the
it.
rest of time.
When you hear the story, you're not gonna be surprised. It's definitely right there, Manny. Well, so like I said, everybody stay tuned to the schedule. I'll post it up. Next show will be after the classic, so look for that. Me and Cody and maybe Stuart will be out there too. But I look forward to that. Stuart, you got anything you want to close with?
We should probably plug HBA tryouts.
Yeah, HBA tryouts in end of January, right?
29th.
29th. Yeah.
Yeah, for Saturday, and then I think Sunday might be the 30th. I want to say.
Yeah, I gotta look at
It's one right after the other.
yeah, and I'll post that up. I'll probably what I'm gonna do what I'm gonna try to work on is actually making an event from just off the plate for all the tryouts.
Okay.
So that's what I'm gonna do, so people can counter it and figure it out.
Sure.
So
Yeah, that'd be great.
so that's what I'm gonna try to do. And so hopefully stay tuned to that. And Cody, got anything?
Happy holidays. Maybe Santa will bring you a championship if you continue to practice and get better.
There you go.
I know my Chris is gonna be good. I got me a championship bat. So thank you, Stuart.
Santa brought you one.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Only one.
He might have been a little naughty this year.
It's possible.
All right, guys. We'll talk to you guys later.
Yep. Thanks
Good night.
again.
Yeah. Let's see.